Welcome back. Now we will be talking about aerial photography, which is the science of taking photographs from air using various platforms, which may be an aircraft or it may be a balloon. And in this case, the sun acts as a source of electromagnetic radiation. Sun is the source of energy, and photographic film acts as a sensor to record the images. One of the important characteristics associated with the aerial photographs is the scale, which is defined as the ratio of distance on a photograph to the corresponding distance on the ground. These are examples of some of the aerial photographs which have been taken from using different platforms. Now, there are certain factors that affect aerial photography. One is the camera, film, or filter. The type of camera we are using, the type of film we are using, and sometimes we also use filter to reduce the effects of particulate and gaseous matter that is present in the atmosphere, and sometimes to reduce the effect of haze in black and white photography. Now, flight direction is the second factor that affects aerial photography, and we must decide the flight direction very conveniently, so as the number of strips has to be less. If we have to aerial photograph this place from point A to point B, we must choose a path going straight to reduce the number of strips and avoid going like this, so for easy handling. Time and season of photography is also the important factor, and the time of the day when you are taking the aerial photograph is also important, because during daytime when sun is there, and the features on the photograph may be clearly distinguished from each other. And also the seasonal phenology of vegetation, like if you take aerial photograph of a place in winter when the trees are deciduous and are leafless, the vegetation and the changing pattern of vegetation is difficult to distinguish. So in that case, seasonal phenology of vegetation is also important. The final point that affects the aerial photography is the stereoscopic coverage. Now, the stereoscopic coverage is attained by forward overlap and the side overlap, and it is an important criteria to determine tree or building height, which is required. Tree height is required for various inventory assessment programs and for vegetation monitoring programs. Now, how we are going to achieve this 60% forward overlap and 25%? Suppose this is the satellite which has a sensor, and it took one photograph like this. Now, when the satellite moves, it has to move so that it achieves 60% overlap, forward overlap, 60% forward overlap, and 25% side overlap. So this is how we are going to achieve stereoscopic overlap. And the instrument which is used for the 3D interpretation of image using stereoscopic coverage is the stereoscope, mirror stereoscope, or lens stereoscope. So we have different types of aerial photographs based on different classification criteria, and the classification criteria may be the scale. On the basis of scale, we have large scale photographs, medium scale photographs, and small scale photographs. Large scale photographs have a scale of 1:5,000 to 1:20,000. Medium scale photographs have a scale of 1:20,000 to 1:50,000, and small scale photographs have less than 1:50,000. Now, based on the criteria of tilt, we have vertical photograph and oblique photograph and horizontal or terrestrial. When the tilt is less than 3 degree, we call it as vertical. When it is oblique, which is less than 3 degree, we call it as low oblique. And if tilt is greater than 3 degree, we call it as high oblique. And horizontal or terrestrial is the camera axis is kept horizontal, just like we do in the normal cameras. Now the another criteria is angular coverage. It may be the photograph. On the basis of this criteria, photograph may be narrow angle, it may be normal angle, it may be wide angle, it may be super wide angle, based on the less than 5D angle of coverage, less than 550 degree, less than 60 degree, less than 90 degree, less than 120 degree. Then based on the film, we may have black and white, that is panchromatic, black and white infrared, that is black and white infrared, color, or color infrared or false color. So this is on the basis of this tilt, we can have the photographs which are depicted here. We can have vertical photo, we can have low oblique, we can have high oblique, and this is the overlap, the depiction of overlap, fan of 4 cameras with overlap, and this is typical view angle of panorama, where